Hey everybody, this is LaTavia Roberson, and I'm chilling with Gallo, the only guy you know.
What's up? It's Nick Gallo, Gallo guy you know. I'm here with someone, you know how long I've been wanting to talk to you? Like a long time. But the
Little old
beautiful,
me.
yes, you, little old Miss LaTavia Roberson.
Hello, my dear.
How, first of all, how are you? I just want to ask you, like, how are you just, I know you're busy, you stay busy, but just how are you personally? Like, how are you just enjoying this time in your life right now?
You know what? I can honestly say for a fact, and not putting on at this point in my life right now, I feel fantastic.
That's so good to hear. I'm so happy because I just like to
Thank
always
you.
check, because you all,
Oh,
entertainers,
I
you all be
trust me, I've
working.
had those moments,
Yeah,
baby. Oh yeah.
but I'm so happy to hear that. But, you know, first of all, I know you have so much going on right now. We're going to get to that for sure
Mhm.
because I want to dive fully in. But, I want to bring it all the way back.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back, right?
No.
July 1st, 1997.
Oh Lord, thank you,
Okay.
Jesus. Somebody has my memory.
The Men in Black soundtrack, Killing Time.
Yes.
I remember when it came out because my mom bought it for me, and I was like, "Who is Destiny's Child?" And I remember listening to it. What what did that feel like? Because that was a huge move, and that's before No 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 even
Yes.
dropped.
Right.
So how was that? Like that was a huge soundtrack. That wasn't just no.
Yes. Well, for starters, forget us being on the soundtrack and all that. I had the biggest crush on Will Smith. Baby, when I knew that we was going to Tower Records for the opening of that, and we got to see Will Smith. Look, I took a picture with him like this. He was my boo. But being like the movie was so huge, and the cast and the impact that the movie had on society, for us to be able to be a part of that and to be a new group that is coming out on something so huge, unbelievable, unreal.
Yes, like that, and that's what I also want to talk about too. We'll get to the other song you had another soundtrack a little later, but just having that off the bat, I was so excited for you all because I didn't know necessarily what you all looked like at that time. So I was
Okay.
like, okay, I love their voices, and then it was so crazy. I remember watching. So now let's fast forward. It was a little bit before the end of the year
Okay. So
of
where was you? Okay, we're
1997.
July 1st, and now
Yeah, this
we're
was like
okay.
about October, September, October-ish. No, 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 part two dropped. And I seen it on the box. I remember paying my 99
I
cents and getting
remember the
yelled at by
box,
my
man. I miss
parents.
those
Right?
days. Oh,
But first of all, how did it feel just having, because y'all just didn't have one harmony. Y'all had harmonies for days.
yes,
And
we wanted to make it. It was definitely 4-part harmony,
yes,
and so our harmonies, we knew that we can count on them. And then everybody had their own parts, and we would do it, and it would make it even better when we would have to sing a cappella because people didn't know
yes,
we were really singing. So I like it. Diversity.
yes. And your alto, man, you could hear your voice. And like, I love your tone
Thank you.
because it's not, how could I say, like, it's not done enough, I feel, in girl groups anymore as much
Hmm.
as it used to be. I feel like it was more about the
Yeah, because
vocals.
it different genres, different times, music change, sounds change, visions, visuals change. So
Hmm.
everything is evolving
But
every single day.
it's a little too
Every
much.
day.
It's kind of,
Okay, yeah, sometimes you be like, gosh, I just heard that song that's been out for 4 months.
right,
Mommy
right,
problem. Mommy problem.
right. But how was it just having, like, so I know you, you all had the artist development.
Yes, we
And
did.
that I wish that was done.
Something that they don't do enough of nowadays. And you kind of don't have to. Social media is a great tool to be able to use, but like it stops a lot of people from having to do the work, like the way that we recorded for and filmed and did rehearsals and stuff for our videos, having to learn those dance routines and all that 8 hours a day and stuff like that. You don't even have to do it anymore. It's not groups anymore like it is. It's
Mhm.
so many solo artists that you don't really have to worry about or think about having to be in formation. You don't have to worry about doing all that and looking in the mirror and then turning around and making sure that you can feel the person. You don't have to do it because it's like every man for themselves.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, people have I feel like, my personal opinion, a lot of people go to it's money, it's the attention on them, and a lot of people don't know how to share.
Yep.
So those days are they're kind of gone, and you see a lot of groups come out and they might have one song and they're good and you want to see more, and before you know it, there's no more group. Like, you never know what they could have been, because then different personalities clash. And then now it's way worse than when we were in groups. Other groups we didn't have those kind of problems like that. We didn't. Yeah. When you hear about girl groups fighting, we didn't have fights like that.
Mm-hmm. And you all grew up together.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
it's little teenage stuff, little girl, but it was never none of that. And people, the jealousy, and then somebody want to be, it's hard now. And then if you one person, I get all that money. Okay, you still got to pay the record company back. So
it is.
Go ahead, spin the girl.
And another thing that I feel like you all started it, the part 1 and part 2.
Oh,
because I'll never forget that. I remember, I was like, hold on, part 2. I was like, there's a part 1. Like, that's before.
And really, part 2. We recorded the slow one, and then Wyclef sped it up.
Yeah, but how did that feel though? Like, because you had not just No part 1 and 2, you had With Me part 1 and 2, and then you had Wyclef on No, and you had Master P on With Me part 2.
It was so crazy because the slow version is just so amazing. It's so sexy. What do we know about being sexy at that age? Well, we want it to be. Look, we want to be grown. Yep. Well, thank you. And when Wyclef was like, "We gonna do it double time," we were like, Clef, it's gonna sound retarded. And then he did, and they put it out. We were like, okay. And it came out. Whoop!
Man, and that was the start of it all.
The start of it.
I want to ask you too, because I feel like we don't have enough knowledge of this. When you all toured in between that time, I know you were with SWV, Boys to Men, and then TLC, the fan mail tour.
Yes.
What was that experience like? Because that's before social media, so we don't really have a lot of footage, or it's not out as much.
Right. Boys to Men, that was our first tour, and I remember the first show. It was a shit show. Not because the show was bad, but like, it was raining and the weather was nasty. We were out when we did our wardrobe changes. We were outside in a tent in dirt mud.
Oh my God. So it was just
having to run back there, do our wardrobe change, and then getting back. But the experience of it. But then we're on a tour with older men. We couldn't do, like, it's so funny because, like, I've traveled the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about traveling the world. Because, like, us being minors, even being in those cities, even if you wanted to explore, you can't explore because, like, we needed chaperones.
Yep.
So it's not that we wanted to just go be out in the club, but even just to go, we couldn't do anything.
That's so interesting. And the one thing I always love this about, I always say, like, late 90s and early 2000 artists, how you all did like, how did you all function, first of all, to do touring, promote the current album, recording the next album? How did you all even sleep during 1998?
Well, yes, but it was a lot of. There was just a time set up for everything. You're tired. We knew that, like, when it was time to promo tour, we knew that it wouldn't be less than 10 hours for that day.
Yeah.
And like when we would get to Europe, no less than 14-hour days. It's just, and and we'd be like, oh, and then you have to be away, especially when you're like overseas. But the outcome, you don't understand it because you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, we don't get to do this. We don't get to. But it was for the promotion of the album. And I understand it now. I wish it was more of that. And it's not. But you make time for it. And then, no matter what, you got it. You have to do it.
You got
tired.
Right?
You have to do it tired.
That's insane. I always wonder, like, I'm like, you had those albums so close. I mean, they were literally one year after another. Right. So I gave y'all props.
Thank
y'all
you.
Did that. Y'all. And, the one best song, still to this day, I listen to it. I still watch the video and reminisce. Get on the Bus from Why Do Fools Fall in Love soundtrack.
Oh my goodness.
I'll never forget that video. And knowing as well, Aaliyah assisted in the choreo with Fatima Robinson. Like, that's just awesome. Just a behind the scenes fact to know.
We lost it when we heard that song. And we didn't like, Timbaland, like, it's just like, we was just like, but we were in Europe on a promo tour. And so we found out that it was going to be on Why Do Fools Fall in Love soundtrack. And Like, we don't have no makeup artists because Europe, it's a little different over there. And we like, oh, we doing a video. It was so just put together. It was
Really?
yes.
I would have never known.
It was that. It wasn't nothing like how the other you get the treatment and all that stuff. They put it together. We got there. People over there did our makeup, and we did a video.
It's still one of my favorite videos of all time.
Really?
It's just like you don't get videos like that anymore today. I mean, like you
barely
have the
get
special
videos anyways.
That's the other thing. Like most artists don't need to anymore, and it's kind of I don't know. I'm old school. I like
and they have like the MTV live awesome videos. That's the only thing I can watch that has videos on it, and it's only so many, and then they replay the segment again. So I put that on sometimes to clean if I just want to have some music in the background and be able to hear different artists.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you too. Like you got to experience all the good stuff, the stuff I wish I could have been at, like the TRL, like spring break days, the BET spring break. Like the one I loved that you all did was the BET Soundstage Club. I still remember that performance. You had the glittery blue, like it was just amazing. What's one memory out of just those kind of type of performances is one of your favorite? Just curious.
I don't like when people ask me what's my favorite something.
Okay.
Because it's hard. And it sucks to say that if you ask me which one that I hate the most, it would be easier. Because, because it's so much that I like.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
I don't remember where we were, but I thought it was Soundstage. When we had to walk up and things that we came up and we went on sail on and we got rolled out. We were on these tall things and then our thing, I told them they walked down the stairs. Just because it was just one of the most dramatic things that we ever had to do. And it was like, so it was in the middle of the show though. We came out or whatever, and then we went back and changed and went up them stairs. We're like 6-7 feet tall. In the air on top of that, and then big old long and they got
just coming off
us, and then we walked down there. I don't remember where we were.
That's awesome, but it's like, just to have that memory and just
like this white iridescent sequins.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I'll never forget too. I think this is so fun. I've actually had arguments with friends about this.
Oh gosh!
And they'll be like, "No, you're wrong." Like I'm like, "No, Destiny's Child first movie, if you know, was Beverly Hood."
Yes, it was.
Okay. 1999, I remember buying the DVD at Walmart.
Yes, Walmart.
Okay. I want to ask you, how was that experience? Because that was so early on still. And I remember you were on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah. We just had fun sitting out there being country. I'm from Houston. We fit right on in.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a long
time ago. Right? That, like, I just think that's awesome you all did that. Just... I know it wasn't huge roles or wasn't like a real scene, but it was just fun, something fun.
Yeah,
it
was the first.
Yeah, it was the first.
Other than that, I just done my Just For Me commercial. And other than that was as far as like some kind of recording. So that was like the next thing.
Yeah, and I know you wanted to be an actress first.
Yes,
so doing that for you, I was like, yo, that's awesome.
Yeah, I acting, commercials, print work, all that up my alley.
That. And then the one thing I love that you have on, right? I'm so happy. Okay, did you ever know that your red hair craze would start a trend for all girls at that time? Did you
No.
You were the girl that had the red hair.
Yes, and it was mine.
And it was,
it was
mine. When did you start noticing it, I guess you would say?
After my dismissal from the group. Because it was just a normal thing, like when I was in there. But then, oh my gosh, can we have your red hair? This. Like, what are you gonna do? Child, it costs to get your hair done. I need a job.
I love that. But no, you did. I mean, I'm so happy you have it now, and you had it that time because I feel like trends, especially for women, it wasn't. I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't as a thing at that time, and seeing it now.
Yeah, it's changed because now, so it wasn't. Let me get a weave, but now that you got wigs, I can have purple hair tomorrow. I can have yellow hair tonight. Go to bed with blue hair and wake up with white hair.
Right?
I take all the wigs off, and then you can see my grays. Because they in there.
Yep. And the one thing I feel like most artists don't do, and I feel like it's amazing you all had a chance to do it. You wrote on 2 tracks on the first album, and you were part of 7 for Writings on the Wall album.
Yes.
And let's go to Writings on the Wall. You had
one of the best.
So good.
Hands down.
Bugaboo. Temptation. Where'd you go? Hey ladies, say my name. She can't love you. You wrote on that. Like knowing that you had that opportunity to, because at that time, a lot of artists in the beginning, you're just, hey, these are tracks. You go in the studio, go on the record it, and
I never understood. One day we were in the Knowles' living room, and Matthew was like, "Y'all need a publishing company." What is a publishing company? I don't know how to run no company. Like, what is it for? He's like, so when you write songs, you can get money. We were like, oh, okay, and just signed up for it. Well, what do you got? LaTavia Music Publishing. So still to this day. One thing that I got from you said, how did it feel? Now that I'm my seasoned age that I am right now and looking fabulous,
still the same.
I realized that it was one of the best things that I did, because people think that because you can sing, that you sing on something, you're going to make money. No, there are 4 ways in the industry to make money, and that's merchandising, touring, publishing, and producing. Yes. That's it. You know, just because you can sing, no, you're not. So you write that down, you play it. It's 25 cents, but guess what? That 25 cents or that dollar or them $2 or them $5, they add up. So that's why I always try to encourage people. Write your own stuff. Write your own material. Your publishing is your lifeline. Definitely. Period.
Yeah. Period. I was so happy that
20 something years later, I still, you know what I'm saying? So, and now the more people, they didn't know about me being in the group. And so them liking Beyonce, so them going to see what Beyonce has done to check on her history. Thank you so much.
I love it. I love it. But I want to talk about, so, we know what happened. After, did you know right away what you wanted when you started to form Anjel? Mm-hmm. How did you and LaTavia think about it? Where was your mind at, just saying like, hey, I want to start a new girl group?
The twins from Jagged Edge, Brandon and Brian, Casey, they wanted, I was dating Brandon at the time, and LaTavia was dating Brian. And so they were like, y'all need to do something. Y'all need to come back out. Me personally, I felt the pressure. Yeah. It was at that time, and my headspace was different. And so I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do for money. And it's okay. It is hot. We need to strike while the iron is hot. It makes sense. But if things internally aren't right with how everything needs to be, then it's not going to work anyways. Who fighting for control and all that. We were just young, and especially me. I knew nothing about any business or anything like that. Me, I get to be around my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? And then after all of that, the traumatic experience of the separation of the group, I'm like, yay. But then it's that, and then he's out here, and then it's this, and then it's that, and then it's my past, and it's, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here right now. What do I do?
Yeah. It's a lot to take
that's when I turned more to liquor. Hey. It made myself feel good.
Yeah, and that's completely understandable. I mean,
so
that's a lot.
During that time is when it just started being, okay, Tavia, go give me some drink. And that's where that kind of started for me, with that BS with that part of my life.
Okay. But how did it feel? It was the May 2022, Sister to Sister, the premiere to the world, Anjel. How did it feel, though? Because I was so excited for you all. Like, when I seen that cover, I remember being at, I think I was at a convenience store or something, and I was like, Mom, I need this. Like, I need
that. We were like, when we did that cover, it's like, oh my gosh, how we did it. Like, this is about to happen. And then, because undoubtedly, like, us in the studio, it's so many songs. Like, me and Nadi, we listen to the songs like all the time. Like, and Tiffany had even came over. I was in Houston. Tiffany came over to Nadi's, and we're listening. Tiffany was like, girl, I have not heard these songs in 14 years. And so we just sat there and we listened to them. Tiffany was like, oh, we did do that song. And so it was songs like when somebody sent Heavenly is what it was called.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
And so when I played it, I was like, we did record that song. It was just, I was like, oh my gosh. It was fun times. It really was.
I want to ask you, because my favorite song, I love Trippin'. I really like Trippin'. I like that it was like rapping with singing. I like the, both of it combined. I love that in a song. But like, what was, because you all recorded a lot
It was, yeah.
for Ain't, like,
And even just the songs that are out there, it's more than that.
okay, so I know you're still close with the ladies. Have you thought about, ever releasing them? Kind of like how I think of like Black recently did Torch. It was Torch. They released that after so many years of not. Have you ever thought about it? Because it is amazing music.
I have thought about it, but that unfortunately isn't something that is just up to us, but it's Brennan and Brian. You know what I'm saying? And they wrote, but it would be so much that would go into it. I wouldn't know how it would happen, but to release it, but then they tell me, oh, y'all need to go on. I don't know about that, but I would love for it to be released and like mastered and mixed how it's supposed to be, so people can hear what we did do. After that, I think that it would be great.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Because we had some real cool songs. Like I think if they were to get, because all that stuff that people are able to hear, none of that stuff is like, so it sounds like that's not even mixed and all of that. It's like a soft mix on those songs.
And that's not the final product. So that's just a little tad that just gives excited.
So I can only imagine, like, it would be great, I think, if I would like, hey, I'm for it.
Yes, that. Okay, so Nadi's here. Can I just bring her in for a second? Because we just got to talk between.
Hey, that's my best friend.
I got to ask you.
Okay.
I want to ask because you all. What's up, Nadi?
Hi.
But how was it recording? Because like you said, you're in a different space. You're new to all of this world. You already have seen, you've done it already. So this is a new chapter in your life. What was it like recording and being a part of the members of formerly Destiny's Child? Like, how was that for you?
I'm so glad you asked me this question.
Here you go.
So before I joined Anjel, I used to have this tape, because tapes existed in a Honda Civic, and it was Destiny's Child. And no one was allowed to change my radio. If you came in my car, that's the only album I would play until it popped out my car. It popped out. That's how much I heard it. And I remember I was at church one day, and I was praying about singing and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, a friend of mine was already in Atlanta, Natasha. And she was telling me about, they're looking for an artist. And so fast forward, I'm going to Atlanta to meet them. And as I'm coming, mind you, I'm just my little self from Connecticut. So everybody's like, oh, you sing amazing. You're awesome. Da-da-da. So I'm going confident. I can do this. I get to the studio, and it's like, excuse me, can we curse on them? I was like, oh, snap. Oh, shit. I was like, they're right in front of me. And they look so much small. Like, they're so tiny in person on TV. So the whole time I'm like, this is really happening. The CD is in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so then all of a sudden, though, I'm going to tell you how fast that went away. We were really young, but she's always been herself. There's no three sides to Tavia unless she's telling you, this is me showing you another side. Tavia has always been a very mature person. And the moment we spoke, the first time we had a conversation, she put me at ease. The next time I wasn't at ease was in the studio. I had never recorded in a professional studio like that, or with actual Grammy winning.
Right.
So here I come with my Brenda K-Star, cover one ear, and I'm about to in the studio and blow out all my ad-libs, and everybody's like, you're gonna need to tone that down. We all have to sound like a unit. So I went through a lot of training. They had to teach me how to walk in heels because I was a Timberland girl. So these girls used to put books on my head for hours to walk. It was a lot of training, but throughout the whole journey, I was made very comfortable. They were very down to earth. There was a moment at first where you're like, but it never stayed like that. It was immediate, like once you got to know her and Toya, obviously I got to see a different side than everybody else because they had just transitioned. So it wasn't just, oh, we're doing Anjel. We're doing Anjel while these girls are processing a major loss. And they're still showing appreciation and encouragement to someone like me, who this is like my,
Yeah.
So I can say that I intentionally always tried to take knowledge of that. Like these girls they're genuinely like embracing me, and we're working together. But I never forgot, damn, you know what I mean? Like they just went through what they went through, and they still showing up to train me, to be there for me. So that's my answer to your question.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that needs to happen somewhere down the line. I know, like you said, I know there's a lot of back end stuff that people don't realize. You know, you have to get in line. I get it, because you can't just put music out there like today. You can. It's just different. Before you needed a label, it needed. That's how it was.
Now you don't.
Yeah, now you don't, which is kind of crazy. But I like the old way. I know the money wasn't always the best, but you have to work harder. Yeah, now. But I guess I'm just old school. I'm just.
Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with it. So am I.
Heavenly, that's the project that was supposed to come out. What is each of your favorite part of the recording process for that project, would you say?
For me, my favorite part of that recording project and process is that, not to exclude Nadi and Tiffany, but I felt like with me and LaTavia, we were going to get a fair chance to be able to do it, and then along with some new talent, and not try to recreate what we had with Destiny's Child, because that's uncreatable. And Anjel had a totally different kind of swag.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like being all girly, and it was more like some female little dudes to a certain extent. So just knowing that we were doing something different, and I felt like it was going to be edgy, and I was just waiting. And then, when things happen, business happens, and things just happen. For me, we always had fun in the studio though. Like we did have a lot of fun. So that's what I remember, and it was just like laid back for me.
Okay.
It was just fun.
For me, I liked it because it was like the whole process. I appreciated that they allowed, like, I remember that day that I wanted to do the rap.
Yeah,
they allowed me. I was like, yo, if y'all just let me write a rap real quick, because they were writing my rap, and I was like, I wouldn't talk like that. I was like, I got 8 bars. Just let me just show you. If you don't like it, we can take it off. And they let me do it. So things like that we had ability to be creative. And you were just learning from great artists all the time. So, I mean, there's so many positive things and so many things I could talk about. But it was definitely a lot of work. And I don't think anybody can disagree. When you work hard at something, you gain an appreciation for it no matter what you go through. So we went through a lot of hard work with Anjel, and I feel like we were able to do that because of their wisdom and Destiny's Child. And it's something that I've been able to carry outside of music and into my home with my family and my children. So, yeah.
No, I'm still, like I said, I love the music y'all put out. And I know it was leaked, but it was dope.
Yeah. It was dope.
It was super dope. Like, because I was so excited for y'all.
Thank you.
I was like,
it was leaked, and I was like, where did that come from? How did that get out?
And it slowly came out, I remember. Like, I don't even remember, because that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. And I'm just like, what do you mean? How? Did nobody release nothing? And
they had an album cover and everything.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Somebody put a hole. We're like, who did this?
Thank you.
Right? But no, Nadi, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. One big thing I like, that is, reality TV. I know you've done your dabble of reality TV, and I know you didn't care for it that much, and I understand it, because reality TV is a lot. But I wanted to ask you, I know you recently did an interview with Carlos King, and I know that's your buddy. But did he ever approach you? I was curious if you ever do it. He did the BET Presents the Encore. Would you ever be interested in doing that type of show in the future? I was just curious to know because you were from a girl group. I was just curious.
To me, it depends.
Okay.
Because it depends on how they present it. But presentation can sometimes be like a smoke mirror.
Yeah.
And just like with me on R&B Divas, because what was presented to me and then during the filming is not what was put on there. So I'm really iffy about reality TV. And if anything comes on about my life, the reason why I would executive produce it is because I need to create my own narrative. And like, once I do it, if you want to buy it, you can drop all them millions on me, you can buy it. But after I told her, so you can tell it right. Because I would hate for somebody to have the rights to something that has to do with my life, and then you leave out something because you don't think no, that part that's little, that means something to me, and you don't understand the significance of it. Sorry. Yes. No, so that's why I have to do my own thing so people can really understand. I want the good, the bad, the ugly, the nasty, the something that's already been dead and has risen again. I need all that about me spoken about because it's a part of my philanthropy work too. It's a part of what I love to talk about. When I do these panels and things like that, I don't like to speak about stuff that I have not experienced or that I have some kind of connection to. Don't give me a piece of paper with no text. Okay, make sure you hit that point. No, that is not a point that has anything to do with this being right here. So I don't want to talk about it. Don't give me the line. I'm not a statistic. I am who she is, sweetheart.
I love it. No, that's why I was curious to know what your thought was. So I like that. And, this past year, 2023 September, you did your first showing for New York Fashion Week.
I did.
With the lab.
Yes.
What did that feel like? Because I remember when you were promoting it, and I was excited just first for you promoting it, then to see what the outcome was going to be, and then watching you promote. What was it like?
It was surreal. I've seen it, and knowing that people go to Fashion Week, but my first time going to Fashion Week, I went, and then the next time I'm going, it's like, you're showing.
Yeah.
How?
Right, yeah.
How? Hey, the man upstairs, something else.
But how did it feel, though, once it was all complete? Because it's so much, like people don't understand, I feel like entertainers and anyone doing something, it's a lot of preparation. You're anxious. Your nerves are going to make sure everything's right. What did it feel like when everyone walked out and, it was completed and you accomplished such like you said, a huge milestone? It's New York Fashion Week. Right. That's not little thing.
And like I said, I'm still very humbled by that experience. And then being able to show again this year, if it's the people behind the scenes, like I know Ryan works his ass off and all that, because that stuff that goes on has nothing to do with me. I deal with the visual and being that fashion enthusiast and all that, and then walking. But the stuff that goes into putting it together, it's a zoo back there. Like it is a zoo. I don't even know how people see their right foot going in front of the left foot to walk forward. I be trying to go walking forward. I promise I'll be going this way, thinking I'm going straight this way. I'm way down yonder somewhere.
That's so fun. I was just so proud of you because I was just like, that's such a and I love that you're doing a little bit of different things. It's not just, because so many people I feel get stuck, but you already accomplished that. You did that. Like, and you could do other things.
People used to tell me all the time, no, you need to pick one thing and you need to stick with that. And you need to make sure that works.
Not in today's age.
And I don't believe in failing. I mean, I believe in failing up. Everything is an opportunity. Now, you might do it, okay, and if it fails, you'll be like, if this is going to go this way, I don't want to do it. But it doesn't mean that the next time you wouldn't have learned from it. You try it again, and then you try it again. If you keep on thinking that even if it can get 5% better, at least you're moving up. But you have to put your hands in different pots. I don't say overwhelm. I don't think you should overwhelm yourself.
Yes.
But why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not try it?
Why end up being a sitting duck?
I agree with you there. And now we're going to talk about the Queens Kollection. And first of all, what made you, because I know your ma always had a nail salon.
Yes.
In Houston. So was that kind of like, was in the beauty world. So did that kind of like influence you just as a young girl?
The beauty world is every little girl wants to, with makeup. My daughter is upstairs right now playing with makeup. Yeah. So you start at a very young age, and especially nowadays, it was different. You better not think about putting no lip gloss on. My daughter is 10. I'm like, she's like, Hello Kitty lip gloss down. Yeah. But what women don't love makeup? And there's only so many shades of pink. There's only so many, but it's different packaging. And certain things make you feel certain ways. Yeah. And the significance of what your line means. I might want to buy your line instead of that. I love everybody that's in the makeup world, but mine the Queens Collection means a lot because of things that I've gone through internally and realizing that no matter what, I am a queen. I am
Yes.
enough. I am worth it. And no matter what, I always tell people, like, you do not have to be a queen. I wear a crown to be a queen.
Yep.
And we are all queens. We are all different, but beauty starts from within.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, the Queens Collection just enhances the beauty that we already have.
Yes.
It's not to be made up. It's not to be, you use it however you want to, and you use it to the best of your liking or whatever, but it's just to make you feel good. We're all royal.
Yes. And that's my final two questions. I want to ask back about the Queens Collection. How does it feel doing these pop-up shops all across the country and just meeting your supporters and meeting your diehards? Like, what does that feel like? Because I feel like it's one of your first like meet and greets with a lot of your supporters in a long time.
The pop-up shops are fun. And then getting to meet different people in different cities, and then just, promoting something that is, I like that the things that I'm doing now are like, I can't say my lane, because I can't say that Destiny Child wasn't my lane. I was going to do other things, whether it had to do with singing or not. I've always liked business parts of stuff. And it's just, the pop-up shops just show you that people, and then people come from other cities to support. It's just like, oh my goodness, there have been people that have come with Destiny's Child like albums and things for me to sign. Where'd you get that from? Like, one man traveled from Canada or something. Like, we were in Maryland. Like, I'm just very appreciative of it, because you never know how much people ride for you. And that's why I make it a point to want to go. And it's like, you sit back, you relax, you just, I'm taking pictures with the people from if the pop-up shop is from 3 to 7, hey, I'm up and I'm yours and I'm available from 3 to 7.
Yeah, I'm so happy, like, just seeing it all come about, and you're still doing it. About to do your Chicago one.
Yes.
I'm just so excited for you.
Yeah, I can't wait for the one here. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I can't wait to see it. Just I'm the observant too, just to see it all.
Please do.
Yes, yeah.
And write that down if you see something out of the way.
Well, my final question, one of your most important jobs is being a mom. How does it feel now going across the country? And I always want to ask you this: do your son and daughter realize who their mom is? Like, what your legacy is?
Well, my daughter realizes who I am, but she doesn't know anything about a legacy. She told me this morning, she said, Mom, you look like Beyonce, and then asked me a question about, question. And she just held her hand in front of me and didn't say anything. And then she said something about, what is something about the energy and something strange she asked. I don't know, but I'm just like, so she knows. My son is 4. If it ain't Spider-Man or dinosaurs, he kind of don't care. He's like, no, LaTavia. He calls me LaTavia sometimes. And he's like, no, you're not saying, you're mom. You're mom. He comes to my room, like, he webs me all the time and calls the police. I mean, he's there. He's like, Mom, I don't. And he's just, Mom, I like your hair. That's about it with him. I'm Mom. That's it.
I love it.
No, but I don't think they really realize. Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. Like you said,
they're young.
They're still young, and they'll see it more and more as they just grow in time. LaTavia, I just want to thank you so much, and just know you are so loved by so many, because we have all been here for you and never left your side. And I'm just so happy you're happy and this time in your life too, because this world is crazy.
It is.
It's a tough.
Very much so.
Yes, and being independent.
So much gratitude for so much, even just the small things that people don't even think. Just I have to take that breath to just speak to you again, give another sentence. Thank you, Lord. Like, it's just gratitude.
Yes, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the year and everything else. I'll be here. I'll be here waiting and viewing and buying.
I'm already knowing it. I already see. You proved that to me today.
But it's Nick Gallo, Gala Guy, here with the one and only LaTavia Roberson.